Ms. Greene, what about you? Do you think the Second Amendment right protects the right of private armed militias to operate outside of state or federal control?
I believe the Second Amendment gives the states the right to have a militia, and it did not expand which way that went, but it gives the state that right. And I think it's extremely important. And I just want to clarify, Mr. Raskins, I never said arm every single person. People have the right to keep and bear arms if they choose. And I also feel that, if my children are in school and a madman with a gun comes to a school to kill people, unfortunately, a psychologist is not going to be able to just talk him out of it. That is not a good way to protect kids. But again, we enjoy...
Do you think the students should be armed?
I think children should be trained with firearms. I definitely do. I think that's very important so that they understand the
So they could repel someone who comes in.
That's not what I said. I said I believe children should be trained with firearms so they understand how to use them and understand the safety. But I think that we should allow states to choose how they protect schools. I believe more in state rights and a lot less in federal intervention.
I want to be clear about your position. There are 50 states that now ban private militias on the theory that people don't have a right to take up arms against the government. You agree with that?
Mr. Raskins, I believe we're talking about due process rights. I'm not sure how we're onto this about private...
We're talking about the Second Amendment.
Yes, we're talking about the Second Amendment. That's right. I think
you mentioned abortion a moment ago, but if we could stick to guns for a second.
Well, abortion kills babies, innocent. We're talking about kids being killed.
Okay, good.
Abortion kills innocent children.
All right, I got your...
They can't protect themselves at all from this horrific procedure.
Sounds like you want to arm them. But in any event, my question is about militias.
That's impossible, Mr. Raskins.
But I wanted to talk about militias. Do you agree that it's constitutional for the 50 states to ban private militias?
I don't think they should be banned. The federal government isn't protecting our border. We're being invaded every single day by an unknown amount of people coming illegally across our border. I think we're in a time where states have the rights to be able to figure out how to protect their citizens.
Right. So here's what the states have figured out, Ms. Greene. They've figured out that private groups who are armed should not be taking up arms against the government and have no Second Amendment right against the state. So you agree with that?
I think the Second Amendment is clear. It means that we need well-armed citizens. And I believe that's extremely important, Mr. Raskins. And as weird as this body, or the Senate perhaps, is trying to violate the Second Amendment, but yet the Supreme Court just ruled yesterday that Americans need to be able to keep and bear arms, carry them.
Handguns.
Bear them means carry them.
Okay.
Carry them in order to protect them.
Marjorie Taylor Greene did a great job holding her own against this Democrat who was trying to stump her on the gun argument. And the thing is, this stuff is just common sense. And I don't know why so many people on the left don't see it, that our kids in schools, they need to be protected with firearms. Especially when we're seeing the rampant increase of people with mental health issues attacking school children and committing atrocities. And when we see that, how is the reaction not to put police officers in schools, to put armed security in schools, to protect the most important thing in the world, which is America's children? Instead, they want to take firearms away from law-abiding citizens who have nothing to do with these atrocities. See, they are mistaken and think that they can cure evil in the world. They can cure all mental illness in the world. And, that really what they need to do is just take people's guns away and this will all go away. But we know that that's not the case. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene also says that, of course, kids should be trained to use firearms. I mean, there was a time in this country where most of the population knew their way around a gun, how to load a gun, gun safety, how to clean a gun. And I honestly think that things were safer concerning guns back then because people were familiar with it. They understood how to be safe with it. And they understood the power of a firearm and the potential danger of it as well. And just the fact that it was more common meant that if somebody was trying to use a gun to commit a crime or to do something bad, they had to anticipate that somebody in the vicinity is probably also armed. And that's going to make their crime spree or their shooting spree a lot more difficult. They're probably not going to get as far as they would today, where we have gun-free zones and nobody really knows how to use a gun unless you're living out in rural America. But in cities, people don't really know how to use guns. It's illegal. They don't know what they're doing with it. So it's a gun-free zone, and it's a ripe target for anybody who wants to do evil. So anyway, let me know what you guys thought of this clip in the comments, and thank you for watching.